Alrighty. Guys in the chat, let us know when you can hear us.
Morale.
Yeah, Morale is right.
I'll
Okay,
see if
so
my internet is going to cooperate. It was stuttering earlier. Like, you know, when you see the LTE thing on the phone and then it goes back and then
yeah, you're like, what is this? What is this? Just guys in the chat, let us know when you can hear us. Just say we can hear you in the
yep,
chat, please. We
we
can hear
are.
you. There we go, Ness.
Okay, good.
Yay! Yay! Thank you so much, Frederica. Hey, Ness. Hey, call me Mank. Frederica, Queen Jeets, Camp Girl, Katan, Beth, Ren, A.S. Asmura? No, Asmura Lynn. Interesting. Mina. Let's see here. All right. We're getting people in, man. Hey, Celestial Being. Hey, Retta. Ooh, Camp Girl. Thank you. Ooh, that's so cool. That's amazing. Hey, Elder Dragon. Hey, say CC Anime Fan. Crystal. And Wesha. Forgive me for just. Hi, Vizio. Hi, Chibi. Hi, Cersei. The start of Everain was amazing. I'm so glad you think this. Hello, Draco John says. Hello, Pamela. Hey, Bee Buster Boo. Hi, guys. So it's Kat and me. Kat's at her place. I'm at my place. It is fucking freezing in
It's so
Chicagoland.
cold.
So cold. So cold. Hey, study buddy. Hey, real at Reddit. Yeah, close enough. I know. I'm like, it's bad. I'm bad at this, and I'm trying to do it quickly, which is like the worst part. Um, hey, Ruby, your birthday's in 9 days. Happy birthday! Getting hyped. Sweet. Hey, Vampire Lyra, you made it. Improbable fiction. Hi, I love that name. Hey. So today we are going to talk all things Everrain. So Kat has actually put together an agenda because we're like professional raccoons,
Kind
like
of.
excellent professional raccoons. But the first thing we want to sort of talk to you guys about is what our plan is so that you can know. So we're going to like go through each chapter, but if we get bogged down and talking about something about it's totally cool, you guys can put all your questions in the chat or any thought things that you want to talk about anyway. And we're also going to be giving away calendars. So there's 3 people that still need their calendars because it didn't arrive or something happened. But I will say that we actually got extra calendars from the printer. They're gorgeous. And I'm like, and Kat was like, and I was like, let's give some away. So
We
we're
found them in the closet yesterday. I was
yes,
like, "Where are the calendars, Wraith?" And she's like, "Oh, let me show you." And then she pulls out the box, and there are like 20 more calendars. So
yeah,
they made more than they said they did.
which is nice for all of us. This is cool, man. Happy birthday, Ren, coming up. Improbable Fiction, brand new to Everrain, just sent up like 3 days ago. Fantastic. Welcome. Mina, will you answer the question, who wears leather pants better? Yes, but that's going to be actually in the story. And then everyone's going to have to vote in the comments. Greetings, Harald from Germany. Lynn, I'm so glad your calendar is gorgeous. Mina, fantastic. You received yours yesterday. Draco Johnson, finally, you got your calendar. Um, and then, yes, Brietta, happy birthday again. You need, exactly. So when we do the giveaway, this is really important. You need to send cats at marketing@wraithrain.com your address. It's a physical object. It has to get there. And last time we were giving away stuff that was physical, nobody sent addresses. So we couldn't send anything out. We were like trying to track people down. Study buddy, is Caden a musical theater kid? I see him singing and dancing in Footloose and High School Magical plays. No, he was probably too shy for that at the time. I think he would have done backstage. What do you think, Kat? You were in theater. You did backstage for theater, I thought. Or did you did
Yeah.
too, front of the house too?
I don't know. I think Caden would be a musical theater kid, but not like the star. Maybe like the goofy sidekick or like in the chorus or whatever.
Probable fiction. Thank you. Already got a calendar. All right, yes. If you can here's how about this? Even if you have gotten a calendar, because we don't want to, if you want something else like from that's it would have to be non-physical, or maybe it could be some physical, something like, I don't know, maybe a book. Let us know if you win. So, and we'll see what we can get you.
Yeah.
So this is yeah. So no worries. If you've
It's
already
just
got one,
us
don't worry.
raccoons.
Yeah, it's just us raccoons. We could do something else. We can always do, hey Claude from France. So basically, I would just say that we will give you something else, and you can sort of pick, because a lot of you have a lot of the stuff already.
You're right.
So it's like, oh my god. But we want to, make sure, because the calendars, obviously, they're only as they're. I mean, they're good all year long, but still, I mean, we were like, why do we have so many? We sold all of them. Okay, the real question, Kat, is who has the best butt, Caden or Julian? I think Caden does. I think Caden has the best butt. That's my vote. Does anyone disagree with me here, or wanted to say that Julian is better? Hey, Ned. Hey, Lynn. All right. Okay, hold on a second here. Actually, let's do. Oh yeah, dog and cat. So, Kat, do you want to do a night pot test?
Oh, yeah. Hang on, let me
Okay.
look at the
So
tab.
we're first going to do this night bot. We're going to do a test. No, we'll try it. Okay, you know what?
Let's just try it.
We're just going to do it. Okay. So if you want a calendar or if you want something else, doesn't matter. We'll talk about that. What that something else would be. We can get you chibi stickers, Cersei. That's no problem. We can probably just send you those. What should we have them put in the chat? Just put calendar in the chat. Put calendar in the chat. The word calendar. And we're going to see if Nightbot works. Otherwise, Kat is just going to be basically, how shall I say it? She's just going to pick. We're going to just randomly pick. It always, the chat goes,
it goes dead silent, and
then there's like this whole thing. Okay, good. Put the word calendar in the chat, guys, so we can check this out. You can get a calendar or something else.
Oh, I'm seeing it.
Okay, good. Because we're going to see if this thing called Nightbot will actually pick a winner.
Okay. I'm going to choose one or more than one.
Oh. Okay. You won it. We won. Okay. All right. We're going to pick. Can we do another one?
Of course. We can do as many as you want.
All right. Let's do 4.
Okay.
Great. Let's do 4. So Asmira Lynn 9104, you won the giveaway. You need to email Kat at marketing@raytherain.com, and you need to give her your physical address. Game mistake 3319. You won a giveaway. So you won a calendar. So you need to email Kat at marketing@raytherain.com and put your address in there so she can do it. No, not 4, guys. Okay, congratulations. Don't call me Blanca 39594. You won the giveaway. Please email marketing@raytherain.com. marketing@raytherain.com. Give your address so Kat can send it to. Do calendar still in the chat for one more, guys. Okay. Oh, we got somebody. Okay. It is Study Buddies 9663. You won the giveaway. You will get a calendar. Must email marketing@raytherain.com and with your address, physical address, name, all the stuff, and you will get a calendar. Okay, we're going to do a bunch of this. We're going to do a bunch of these. Yep. So don't worry. Do not worry. So this is so exciting. I mean, Kat, Kat, I don't know if did I ever express nervousness about Everrain, or was I just like, I need to get to it? Because I feel like Empire Stars, in all honesty, like took a lot longer to wrap up than I thought it would. I really thought I would be done with Empire of Stars much earlier last year. And then it ended up being where I literally could not get to Everrain until December, and the end of December. And I
Yeah,
was and I was like, "Oh,
you just you wanted to do it. Like
I
you
did."
didn't, yeah.
Well, it
Because
was
it
funny
really
because
is just a continuation.
I was really more prepared to do, ironically, what is now being touted as Dragon Lords, Dragon Empire, because I had been thinking about that one a lot,
Uh,
because that's what I thought would happen, is that I thought I was going to do that one and do Everrain second, and then I was like, no, do Everrain first, because that one will surely be like more exciting to a lot of people who already know. I know you've said to me, it's like most people, they, oh my god, Leisurely Panda, Jesus. Um, I'm gonna read your super chat in just a second, Leisurely Panda. But I always have said, like, I always want to bring on something new, a new world, a new this. And obviously I did want to return to the world of Dragon's Reign, but I needed a story that was worthy of returning to that world. I unlike I just evidently I'm like an idiot because I'm like this type that does not want to, like, just milk what I've got, because I'm like, no, it has to be worthy to basically be written under the Dragon's Reign banner. And I always have, and then I have these other ideas, and it's like, oh my God. I don't know if I can basically, do this. And when I was going to set out to, I had this idea. And as you guys may know, the idea at first was just to do a cute little crossover of Dragon's Reign and Everdark. Like, have it just be funny and light, and maybe like 25 chapters. Like, nothing. It was just to do things like, who wears leather pants better? Would Caden and Julian be friends? How would they react to Ilarion? What's, all of this stuff. And then it just started growing. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, this could be a real story, like really serious. And now this thing is going to be a behemoth in terms of, I am just so excited about where it's going and how it's going. It's just really unbelievable. So I'm, at least that's how I'm feeling about it. But let me read Leisurely Panda's, of course, incredibly generous super chat. As always, he is amazing. So he says, hi, Raythe, loving Everrain so far. It's so much fun already. Just like with Dragon's Reign, it started off with a real bang. One thing I've been wondering since Tilly is like 12 years younger than Caden, is she an oops or a miracle baby? That's a good question. I think that I was an oops baby, to be honest with you, but I see her as like sort of a miracle baby. Like, maybe they had trouble having Caden, and then afterwards they really didn't think they were going to be able to have. I think she always wanted a daughter. Caden and Tilly's mom, as well as her dad, wanted a mom, and wanted to be wanted a daughter too. And they just, when they thought they weren't going to be able to have one, they were able to have one. So this is like, that's just really what happened there. And so that's how I see it happen. Um, so how are you going to combine the two worlds between Dragon's Reign and Everdark? It's really simple and really complicated. How
Magic.
this magic. So as you guys might know who have read Everdark, how they get to the Everdark from the Earth is on these special walls that they paint. They put in blood symbols, which will take them to the various Everdark cities. And for Night Vallon, which is the name of Damon's capital city, it's an infinity sign. Well, Akith and Damon are having a friends with benefits moment, namely where they are fighting. And Damon, like, it's a draw, but like Damon sort of wins. And so Akith is annoyed. So Akith says, you think you're such hot shit, Damon. You know, you think you're the best ruler ever, but you are not, because I actually know of a world, an alternate universe in which dragons rule and vampires drool, basically. And there is this ancient ruin nearby, and it's one of these walls, but it's not one of the walls that the vampires have used to move between Earth and the Everdark. It's a different wall, and Aketh uses their blood to put on a symbol on the wall, and then they get to see into Dragon's Reign. And unfortunately, the moment they're seeing into Dragon's Reign is the moment when a new foe appears on the horizon, and puts in danger all these people that they can see through the wall. It's like a gigantic television screen, and our leap before he looks, or leap before he thinks, vampire prince realizes that if he doesn't do something, if they don't do something, these people are going to die. And he teleports through the wall. He goes into Dragon's Reign, and he's trying to help these people. And by the way, it's summer and the sun is out, so this was not the best thought plan, but he's in there. But if he had not come, as it turns out, and if Damon hadn't followed after him soon after, all of Reach would have been destroyed. Ilarion might have been killed. Voseth might have been killed, the person that she's with. A lot of people would have died. It would have been, and in fact, maybe that whole world would have died. Because Damon, of course, when Julian's trying to get back to him, he can't do it. The wall will not let him pass through because it doesn't quite work the same way. There's going to be other reasons there. So Julian is trapped in daylight on this other side, like hiding in like little like shadows while some monstrous being is coming. So Damon does what he did in the first book of Everdark, and that is he comes through, even though he's coming into a place where he doesn't have a connection, and therefore his power is mightily reduced, which will be good because he's so OP. But and that he comes to save Julian, but he in fact saves everybody else as well. So if they hadn't come, this would have been disastrous. And that's how the two worlds are together. So we have Damon and Julian right now smack in the world of Dragon's Reign. So that's how they come over there. So it's really, it's basically, that I think that pretty much, gives you what's going on. Leisurely Panda is single-handedly paying for Raythe's work. Yes, he is. So the Ruby Minecart asked, here's something else I wonder, would Tilly be besties with Sophia? Probably would be. Yeah, I think that it would. As I said, I've always felt for childhood vampires, right, Kat? I mean, can you imagine? You look like a kid. You're not. I mean, Sophia's tens of thousands of years old, but she's still, I think she would have fun with Tilly, because Tilly is pretty awesome anyway. But Tilly is now best friends with Ilarion, by the way. And she and he get into all sorts of trouble.
They're up to no good.
From the very beginning. So she, and you think that they would be making trouble. Tilly and Ilarion are a two-man wrecking crew. So that is pretty much what's going on there. Okay. The best way for Damon and Val to have a measuring conscience is to have an actual villain to fight. I predict the Colossus will not have a great time. Yes, this will be a part of it. But one of the big things so when I was talking to Sylvia Cat about this story originally, we went out to dinner, we were drinking, and she has a very different, you guys know what my bag is. I absolutely love the outsider becoming an ultimate insider, and I love the idea of the chosen one trope. She's the opposite. She does not like the chosen one trope. So to me, I'm like, I just like making them OP. And she's like, well, what's Damon's arc going to be? He has to have an arc. I'm like, oh, I don't know. He doesn't really have an arc. He's going to be wearing pants in his coat. It's going to be fine. It's going to be funny. And she's just like, no, I think there needs to be some conflict between him and Valerius. I'm like, well, I don't know. What? And then I realized something, and I kind of talked to you about this yesterday. They are two very different types of rulers. Valerius is the reluctant king. He doesn't want to be king. Damon is the conqueror king. He wants to be king. He wants to conquer all these seas. Conquering things is at the heart of who he is. Taking over things is exactly what he does. So imagine Damon comes to this world. There are no vampires here, but it is beautiful. And it's a beautiful world. And it needs him. I mean, the first thing he has to do is save everybody. So he sees that the dragons, the leaders here, cannot defend the people against this creature, this colossus. And then the people are going to fall in love with him and Julian because they're vampires and they're awesome and they saved them. And if they're stuck in Dragon's Reign for a while, he might think, well, it's better for everyone all around, isn't it? If I establish myself here. And guess what? That's going to bring into conflict because you would think, well, Valerius is going to fight back. All of them are going to fight back, but maybe not at first, or he delves into those deep insecurities that the dragons have about ruling. You know, why are they ruling, and all this kind of stuff. So it's really going to be fun. So Tilly, Sophia, and the kittens. So we have actually something awesome to show you. The dogs. So we've got first, let me show you Hermes, because we have some more. The Pets of Raythe Rain has continued to grow, and one of the main characters in Everrain is Hermes. Okay, I think you can see this. So Hermes is not any ordinary cat. As you can see, he is the Fluffy. He is a beloved Persian kitty, and he is the companion, the boon companion to Dr. Caspian Hartley, who is the love interest of Ilarion. Yes, that's right. We're doing Ilarion. And Hermes Ilarion calls Hermes witch cat, because he's scared of this cat, because this cat does not seem normal, even for a cat. This cat really isn't normal for a cat. Hermes is the best. So Hermes joins the Cats of Raythe Rain. Tilly loves Hermes, of course. Dogs, Vanya and Visky, do not love Hermes, of course. And them trying to win over Hermes, Ilarion trying to win over Hermes later on in the story is going to be hysterical, I think. It's going to be a good time. So Mephie's not with them. Hermes mentors Mephie. Yeah. So that's exactly it. Hermes and Mephie want to see it. So one of the things that a lot of people ask is how many vampires are you going to bring in to Everrain? And right now I'm just bringing in Julian and Damon. I don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of characters, basically. How shall I put it? That are it's already a lot to manage, and but I know a lot of people want to see a lot of things. But I think they're gonna be guest stars. But I don't think. See, what's gonna happen here is that they can't come. Damon and Julian can't go back to the Everdark until the Colossus is taken care of. And Damon is weak right now, and the dragons can't take care of it either. So they're going to have to, figure out what's going on here, and they're going to have to figure out a plan. So I don't think that even the other Everdark people can come through, but that doesn't mean for example, Balthazar could communicate people telepathically between the Everdark and Earth. So I imagine he will be able to do so too. And the mirror will have a big role. Trixon, hey, you made it. So the thing is, though, you say this, anime fan, but the thing is, if he does start commune, because he needs to get stronger, what happens? So that's going to be another thing. Okay, so Kaidan is like, I'm reading while listening to the stream, and I'm literally at the point where Julian just teleported in. So good. Yes. So the first chapter, and so just to give you an idea, and we're just sort of going to go through it. And by the way, there are going to be spoilers throughout this discussion, guys. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So the first chapter is Ilarian, from both Ilarian and Caspian's point of view, because we have to have their meet cute is, of course, over the destruction of the world, because that's how this always is. And so that first chapter is literally, it starts with Dr. Hartley, and we're learning a bit about him. So he is sort of a mysterious guy. So he is a professor at Reach University. He senses evil, which is very interesting. He can sense things going on through this wall and the spiritual realm. And the question is, why? He is not a shifter at this time. He does not seemingly, so he's not some kind of other supernatural creature. He appears to be just a normal human, other than the fact that he has an extraordinary cat. And it's hinted at that something happened to him when he was a child. And it also is hinted at that he almost died during when the behemoth came to Earth in that last big battle. So he senses evil about the wall. Normally, he senses something coming through. He basically tells King Valerius and King Caden that they need to stay away from the wall, because when the dragons come near the wall, it appears to have a bad effect. Like whatever's coming comes faster or seems to be breaking through. So he has basically, there's a moratorium on any dragon shifters coming near this wall, which is outside of reach, about a mile or so. Now, Caden and Valerius have gone off to go see Esme. Marban has gone off to see Tez. Shione's gone off to see Jahara. And Ilarian's left in charge because he begged. Okay, and he's the last man standing. It's really Rose in charge, but Ilarian's like in charge. But Ilarian becomes obsessed with Dr. Hartley, and he claims he's obsessed with the wall, but he's obsessed with Dr. Hartley. And he basically keeps coming to the wall, demanding to see it and to figure out how it can be destroyed. And Caspian's like, you're putting all of us in danger. Something's happening. There's all this stuff is happening when you come. And they are, and basically Ilarian's like, so what if the spirit wall opens in the spirit world? Something from the spirit world can come through. The behemoth, who is the past villain, has been defeated. They're not coming out. There's nothing here that we can't handle. And those are like famous last words, right? Because there is something they can't handle that's going to come. Okay, so I'm so glad you're reading it, Kaitan. All right. Oh my God, improbable fiction. Hold on. I think the idea of a crossover celebration at the end before they go back is a great one. I think that's very true, because I think they now are able to pass back and forth, and they basically promise each other if they are in need that the other party will come to defend them. Julian is, let's put it this way. Akith claims right now that the reason why they showed them this world was to get back at Daemon, to show that dragons rule better, right? But let's put it this way. That may not be the full truth. Akith is a being who can fly between Everdark cities, and sort of, like Daemon, has like certain powers. And I would say that Akith has a feeling that something's going wrong in his beloved dragon's reign. So that is like, basically Akith sent Daemon there because that was the only way. And one of the things at the end is like, Akith is going to say to Daemon, so you saved them. And Daemon's going to say, they saved me. So that's going to be a very interesting arc there. So improbable fiction, so generous, both you and Panda. As someone brand new to you and your books, I'm wondering where you'd recommend I start. I haven't read anything yet. Oh, God. Kat, this is the eternal question, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm working on this too, like a better user guide, because we just kind of chuck people in this site and go, okay, here you go.
Right. Just start wherever.
Right.
Okay. So improbable fiction, I would go to the library, and we divided the library into not genres, but into like elves, vampires, shifters, crime lords, and witches and demons. So it's sort of like pick your poison. So for example, vampires, Everdark is a great place to start. There's Everdark, Everdark Academy, and then Everdark Equinox, and there's just a full go through. And I think that that's a really great way. If you're in the mood for vampire fiction, that is an awesome way. If you're in the mood for shifters, my dragons are a little bit different than shifters, but definitely Dragon's Reign is a great one to begin with. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. There's some darkness. But it's a really great place to start. If you're into elves, I definitely the Night Prince or Elven King's Blade. And then there is a behemoth story that runs through the entire site, other than these latest ones where it's called the Winterhaven Universe. And there's actually a reading guide. There's reader's guides for a lot of this stuff where it can say, okay, where do I want to start? If I want to read about mermen, this is where I would start here. And these are the stories that are all interlinked. But I would definitely start first at the library, then go to the reader's guides and sort of pick what you're interested in. Are you interested in elves? Are you interested in vampires or witches? I would say that my witches and cults are far darker stories and more one-offs. My shifters are divided into dragons, mermen, and some werewolves. And my vampires are divided into 3 different sort of series: Sanctuary, The Abyss, and Everdark. So really, like, will get you in there, I guess is what I would say. Where the Winterhaven Universe is the oldest stuff. And there is incest in that through certain couples, so keep that in mind. We'll have warnings, but I would say that either begin with Dragon's Reign. Then I would do Dragon's Reign first, I think, or Everdark first, I think. Casey, it's so glad for you to be here. Caden won the poll, best butt. I know. Yeah.
I would actually I would say get caught up in the stories that are currently running.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Comment.
Yeah, because that's
and then
really
when you're caught up, go back and read the old stuff.
Yeah, the only thing is if you're going to read Everrain, I really do think Dragon's Reign is a key one that you have to do.
The prerequisites.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, don't worry, we're doing more stuff on the giveaways. Let's do another giveaway, Kat.
Okay, let me go to my
All right. So the word this time is going to be second, SECOND, second. And we're going to do 4 more because we've got like over 20 to give away. So put the word second in the chat.
We are so far behind. We're like 10 seconds behind everybody.
I apologize, guys. Yeah.
Or at least I am.
There's like another. All right.
Okay, now people are starting to show.
Yeah, now we can go back. Yeah, we are like, and there's a delay. I think you can upload maybe I'll have to do it, but.
What?
I need to upload the dogs, but I can't, there's just so much going on.
I put them all in that folder.
Oh, right.
It's linked in the stream agenda.
Yeah, I can actually go see that. Okay. So we're giving away calendars, guys.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay. All right. So Vizio, you've won the giveaway. Email your address to marketing@raytherain.com. Email your address to marketing@raytherain.com. Okay.
Next.
Yep. Okay. Crystal Cunningham, you won the giveaway. Crystal, again, if you've already gotten a calendar, you can pick something else. No problem. definitely, Crystal, email your address to marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com. So X Video and Crystal Cunningham, we need 2 more. Give it a second. All right. We have the Ruby Mine Cart 5291. You have won a calendar. Email your address to marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com. And one more. All right, we got the final one for right now. Lunar M, you won the giveaway for a calendar. Email cat@raytherain.com, at marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com with your email. All right, I'm going back up because I missed shit. Oh my God, there's another. Oh God, there's another fucking. This is amazing, guys. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Let me just call him. All right, we're going to go down. Actually, you're right, Mina. Everrain is a cats actually rule, dogs drool. So Cersei says, by the way, in the Discord popularity poll, Damon beat Val by 1 vote, and Caden managed to beat Julian by 2 votes, but K-Morn beat them all. Hermes is amazing. I did. So there's a scene where Vosith puts Hermes on her head, and somebody did that in the Discord as the cutest little chibi, and it is absolutely fucking adorable. Trixon, did you do that? Who did that? I don't know, but it's so cute. Cats
like
are
a
the
drawing?
Yeah, it's adorable.
Okay, hang on. Let me look and see if I can upload it to the folder.
All right. I know that, seriously, you think there's too many people already. We don't need no vampire. You keep like pushing that. You're like, no more people. It's so funny because I forgot the dogs already in one chapter and I had to fix that. I know. Besides, it's going to be just like, yes, there will be tentacle sex. I think he's going to have to commune because I think in order to get stronger, and that's going to be really what, Frederica, it's so good to have you here. I'm so glad. Okay. Spoilers are okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, it's causing you to start reading. That's what we're doing. So, okay. So Vizio says, gnawing on the bars of my enclosure while I wait for new chapters. I got to ask, do you plan on making general concepts for the other dragons' mates? Yes, but I don't think right now. I mean, with everything that's happening in this story, and it's large enough as it is, but I think we will see them. For example, the spirit world will be important and everything like this. That is what I think. I don't want to rush putting on 11th dragon shifter or 12th. You know what I mean? I don't want to like have it be overwhelming. Although there is this basically, because you remember one of the big things in the original Dragon's Reign was that the territoriality of the dragons, and here we have now yet a 3rd dragon appearing in, Caden and Valerius's territory. And now, if you were to ask them, like, do you mind having? Are you worried about this? And they're like, oh no. That 3rd dragon now could read the reports and take those off our desk. They're like, yeah, this is great. They want to rule. Go ahead. So they get to spend more time together, which is really fun. I think that this is true of my characters. Nothing says bonding like world destruction. Absolutely. Alarian will get tips from Wally. Don't you worry. Not in this. So the question is, I was going to ask if there would be more dragon mates as well. I don't think so in this story. I don't want to rush this stuff, and I don't want to take center stage off what we've got because there's so much what we got. Lily, so glad to see here. So glad you're here. Don't call me Blanca says, is this story going to be made into a podcast audiobook? Not anytime soon, if it will be. So no. If this is a Raythe Rain online exclusive. So The only way you can really read it is if you join up. I know in the Discord they do sometimes do giveaways of memberships, so that's something to join the Discord for. Cersei, if you put a link, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
the thing is that, as the audio producer of Raythe
yes, yes,
Rain,
yes.
Sylvia and I have ganged up and said that Raythe can't do anything extra because she will probably be doing the Night Prince for a long time too. And that's just, it's a lot of work to do that. It's a lot of energy, and we just have to have a nice work life balance. What is
So
that? I don't know, but
I
it's something to go
know.
for.
I guess for those of you who really, depend on the free stuff, remember that the Night Prince is posting. Everdark Academy is going to start posting. You have more than enough free stuff to listen to. So, and
We just
more than
can't do another podcast.
can't
We
do
can't.
another podcast, not for a while. Yeah,
No.
I know. It's like, good Lord. I'm so glad that you're here, Al. Okay, so this is so true. This is what I said. He's claiming he's obsessed with the wall, but he's really obsessed with dark. He is. I mean, it's so obvious. He's so obvious. So Leisurely Panda says, if we did ever get any new mates, I hope we get a Titanic dragon bonded to a woman. All the current Titanic dragons are bonded to men. You're right. It needs to be definitely current. The banana one, the banana colored dragon that loves Kayla is definitely going to be bonded to a woman, and that's a Titanic sized dragon. It is not a sexist thing. It's just because, basically, I just, the bigger your dragon. But Raziel's the biggest one of them all. Okay, hold on one. Okay, so Fidel better be Anwar's mate or I will cry. So one of the things that's going to happen, like, because Fidel and Anwar are racing, of course, to get to Reach with all the other dragons, because this thing came through. And by the way, so Jahara, those of you who don't know, so Queen Jahara, who is the iridescent dragon queen, she rules over the continent of Africa, and think Wakanda, the entirety of the continent of Africa has been turned into Wakanda, basically. She is very interested in tech, and she has completely, focused her territory on technological advances. She is going to have a space elevator. She's having a space elevator built. She's very interested into space, but one of the things that she gifted all the dragons are these they're not even supersonic decks. They're more than that, because they literally go all the way up to the Earth's or the top of the Earth's atmosphere and skim along the top, so they can get anywhere on the world in about an hour. And she gifted jets that are run on alternative fuels that are totally, ecologically friendly to the other dragons, so that they can all come back, so that nobody has to fly anywhere, either commercial or with their wings. Because one of the things that happened is it took Anwar forever to get to Reach, because it's traditional for them to fly to each other's territory in their dragon's forms, but not any longer. They're going to take these planes. So the minute that the Colossus appeared, and this was all being broadcast all over the world, all these dragon ships, they got in their planes and they're hurrying back to Reach, not only to have a powwow about this Colossus, but the 10th dragon shifter has arrived, and vampires, because that became clear. Like Julian had, said, yeah, we're vampires, but we're friendly vampires. And that was reported by a very interesting character that's joining the crew, and she's reporter Mandy Walters. So media has always played a huge role in Dragon's Reign and in Everdark, and is going to play a huge role this time, because Julian uses his Iros mind powers to be like, we're nice vampires. You like us. You don't want anyone to do anything bad to us. So he's trying to protect himself and Damon, but there's broader consequences to what he's doing, again, than he's thinking of. Okay. Let's see here. Oh my God. I love all you guys telling Improbable Fiction where to start, because that's really, it is a question. And Kat has, like she says, we're working on something. This is truthfully, thank you for the answer. I visited the website, but I admit I was confused. It is confusing because it's grown in 16 years to be so massive, and we really haven't solved this problem. So that has been like a huge issue, about sort of like I just don't, in a way, I don't know how people just figure out where they're going to start, other than saying, well, I heard this, I heard Everdark, I want to read Everdark, so I'm just going to go to Everdark. um Basically, oh, good, we know who it is. The Vosseth and Hermes art was done by LD. It's incredible, it's adorable, it's absolutely adorable. Wait, we got to talk about it's not really the cats of Raythe Rain, but the cats of Raythe Rain Rangers. Aw. Yes. So Leisure Planet, the cast kind of full. It really is incredibly full. Incredibly full. Okay, so how will he feed? This is going to be a really interesting thing. So in the story right now, so Damon comes, he does this spectacular entrance. Okay, so the Colossus is massive. This thing's as big as a building. It's bigger than the dragons. It grabs Mephis by the neck like Mephis is the size of a kitty cat. Okay, that's how big this thing is. It's got the torso of a man, a head of a man. It's got the body like beneath the waist. It's all serpents, massive, gigantic serpents, and it's got multiple wings on its back. So it's able to sort of hover over the land. It can't really fly, but it's terrifying. We're just calling the Colossus now. And it grabs Mephis by the neck, basically bite, shake, and throws Mephis in like across the field. And Mephis is like massively injured. And this Colossus goes and basically is going to pound them. And Caspian is watching this with Tilly, the dogs, and Hermes, and he's just like, oh my God. And basically he realizes that unless the Colossus is distracted from Mephis at that moment, Larian will probably die. And he hears a voice in his head basically like, will you let this happen? And he's just like, what can I do? I can't do anything. They're like, if you could do something, would you do it? Basically. And he's like, yes, I would do it. Even if it would bring about your death. Yes. So he goes and he is somehow able to get the Colossus's attention. And the Colossus is like barreling towards him. Basically, think of a mountain moving towards you, roaring with rage, about to kill you. And he just needs to give Mephis and Ilarion a little time to recover, to get up again. And he really does think he's going to be turned into mush, like not even mush, like just like particles by this thing. And that's when Vosseth bonds with him. So that's how he's saved and becomes a 10th dragon shifter. Again, like terrifying. And then the two of them, like Ilarion and Vosseth and Caspian and Mephis, they're fighting this Colossus, but they can't defeat it. It just seems completely, immune to it's just too big. But in the meantime, Damon comes, and he comes through and he rises up into the air, sort of like Superman, with one foot, drawn up to his knee and the other leg extended, and his coat flying back and the popped collar, and the day becomes night. All of the sky, it becomes night, becomes black as pitch, blocking out the sun. Totally darkness reigns across the land. And this is all being recorded, mind you, by the media who are coming in with their helicopters and everything like that, like insane little bugs. And then he uses the Hori's power, where he brings lightning. I mean, it's like force lightning, but it's like from the heavens above, where it literally like strikes the Colossus in the chest, like causes it to smoke. And this Colossus sees Damon, and it seems to recognize him. And for the first time, it looks afraid. And though he's going after it, and he's like, basically raining down lightning. And I mean, he doesn't use the Astrogift, which could pull it apart molecularly, but is doing this. It escapes back through the wall. And then Damon, he falls to earth. Because remember, he had to take a massive amount of energy to get through the wall to get to Julian. And then he's used all this energy here, and it's daylight, and he has no reserves because he is not connected to this land. So he falls all the way down. Okay. Um, and Julian, of course, immediately comes to his aid, and a lot of things happen there. And the two of them get in a basically convince the dragons to take them, in a car, a tinted window car, to Reach, and eventually Julian, convinces them to put them in the dungeon where there's no windows. But in the meantime, Julian is using his Iros powers to convince the media that they are awesome people, that no one should be afraid of them, even though they're vampires, even though they did this, that they're saviors, that they're good, that this is whatever. And so so that they'll be protected. And so they get to Reach, and they get into one of those, because Reach is like riddled with secret passages and all this kind of stuff. They're taken by Captain Simi into the base of Reach, where it's basically this gigantic elevator that will lead directly up to High Reach. And who is waiting for them? It's Rose. And Rose has a medical container by her feet as well as a gurney. And she's a big vampire fan, and she got them blood from the hospital. So how will he feed first? They've got tons of bagged blood from the hospital, but obviously fresh is better. And so it's going to be a point of contention, however, for that. They have no acolytes here. And though we all know that vampire feeding is incredibly pleasurable, Valerius and such is not going to be so sanguine about it, but he realizes that everybody, basically all the dragons recognize that Damon is not human, has never been human, and he is not what he appears at all. In fact, they know what a threat he poses, even though no one else sort of sees it at first. And they're like, you really don't want to get him too comfortable here, basically, as we'll find out. So in any event, at first, how they're being fed is through bagged blood, but they will, of course, develop acolytes, because there will be tons of people who want to feed him as a thank you. And then he can, of course, go feed on evil people, as you know. Yeah. So there's tons more dragons and all this kind of stuff that are going to be in this than vampires. Yes. It was really funny. One of the members commented, they're like, I would like some more vampires, please. It's like, I don't want that much chocolate in my peanut butter. And I'm like, it's really Dragon's Reign sequel with a crossover of two characters. So it's really, if you love Dragon's Reign, you're going to love this, because it's the sequel. Okay. Question. Raythe, will there be art of Tilly? I would love there to be art of Tilly. It would probably have to be done by T-Wolf. Mathia, so you guys know that we have, obviously, serials, we have books, we have YouTube, we have Spotify, we have everything where we need art done. And Mathia has a full-time job as a game artist. She works for Warhammer 40K. So I only get Mathia nights and weekends, and they've got it, so they can only do so much. So we really have to use them for the particular things that we absolutely need. And thankfully, T-Wolf has been able to step up and do some incredible art, including art for Dragon's Reign, which is really spectacular, which you guys haven't seen yet, and that's going to be for the special editions that are going to come out this year. So if there is art of Tilly, it will be done by probably T-Wolf. Cinnamon Beans, so glad you're here. Again, only if it's T-Wolf, but we don't have the capacity to do it. So this is the saddest thing ever. I love this. A new guy gets the paperwork. Absolutely. That's one way to make sure no one wants to come forward, right? You want to rule, you have to do the reports.
It's the hazing, the dragon hazing.
So one of the things that this person asked, with the spirit world in Everrain, will Christian, Balthazar, and Cameron see that spirit world? Well, they're not in Dragon's Reign. So they're not in the Dragon's Reign world, But Julian absolutely sees the spirits. He actually sees the snake in Simi and the bees in Rose. He can see the spirits. And one of the things he does when he tries to actually influence Simi's mind to not be worried about him biting him is when he goes into his mind with the iris power, he suddenly finds that there's someone else there. And it's the snake spirit who like rears back at him, like, what are you doing? So he realizes that if he's ever going to use mind control on a shifter, he has to do it on two people, not just one. So basically that's, oh, Crystal, I'm glad you sent your email. Okay.
We've heard back from 7 of 8 people, which is a really great percentage. So one person is still out there who hasn't emailed me.
Yeah, please do email because so many people would like these, and if you would not like this, really don't take it from someone else. That's not. It's because So I'm going to resubscribe soon and reread, re-listen to all the stories. Really miss the characters and stories. Jen, I'm so glad. One of the things that's really crucial that I want you guys to know is we're doing our yearly sale where you can do 50% off a year by using the coupon code winter sale for the membership, and it goes through the beginning of February, and we really recommend that you do this because it is like it's like $4. It's like $4.16 a month if you do this. And think about it, you get a whole year, all these audiobooks, all these ebooks, all this stuff that you get special stuff off of. It's a really good bargain. I know people don't have money right now and we're all like freaked out, but one thing that I told myself recently when I was saying, oh, I shouldn't do this is like, wait a minute here. So you're going to just doom scroll and be paranoid and not do anything fun for yourself so that you'll be a ragged mess and can't help anybody. Don't do that. I know it's like really, I know it's not good out there. We all are waiting for the second shoe to drop, but honestly, like, do something good for yourself. If not Raythe Rain, do something good. And I'll be honest with you, like, your money towards niche creators like myself means a lot more than to Disney Plus or to, not saying that you should give up Disney Plus or give up Netflix or something. But I mean, that your dollars literally go right back into making all the things that you really love. So definitely consider that. So Leisurely Panda says, Raythe really needs a clone to send work to so that she can do more fun stuff, right? I know. My clone would my clone be evil? I think they would be. So one thing is, don't call me Blanca. I have a membership. Reading is hard for me. I almost listen to podcasts. I know. You know what? One of the things that we've had a couple of blind members, and I am really are going to try to make things. You can use a screen reader. Mathia used to do that because they would listen to the stories while painting. But for the next iteration of the site, we're going to be doing a lot of things to make the membership more valuable this year and more fun. Kat, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because you're really the mistress of the site. And that allows actually to upload to get some stuff done with the doggies.
Oh, that's right, because you have to upload them to the special file
area. Yes.
Delightful. Man.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Yeah, so it was many years before new stuff started being developed for Joomla, which is the platform that the site runs on. And it's not a bad thing because Joomla is used by like big institutions that aren't going to change. So like universities and foundations and stuff. So generally they have more business clients than casual users. So that means it's not going anywhere, but it's still, all the development was taken up by WordPress. But in the last couple of years, I was just kind of looking around and I saw so much new stuff. So like the thing that I got really excited about was the ability to have comments on podcast episodes, which if you go on the site, they're just kind of dumped onto one page. And with that goes the ability to have a podcast player rather than hitting play and hoping that your browser will play them all the way through. That's not a real player. The podcast plugin that we're using is ancient and petrified and extremely basic. So I'm really excited about that. And then I was just like poking around and I found dark mode. Like, oh my god, dark mode. We can enter the modern age now. And I'm also a visually impaired person, and having that blinding white is incredibly exhausting. I realize this because I have to live it. So that's really exciting. And then the stupid membership code that you have to do every single year you want to renew your membership at the winter sale. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the system that we really want, which is the ability to just add on to your existing membership. The thing that we use doesn't do that, and they never will. It's been requested from them, and they're like, "Nah, we're not going to do that, bro." Like, thanks. Thanks a lot. That's so great. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's just a few of the pressing things that I want to get upgraded, and I'm pushing everybody really hard to make sure that it happens.
Yeah, no, we have our meetings every Friday, and we had Jeremy come in, and basically we're like, okay, Jeremy, we need you to do X on this time frame, and I know you have other things going on, but guess what? We need it all done.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm basically making our tech staff my minions. Like, you're gonna do this.
yes, yes, and though he is Cat's minions, they are also your minions, guys. So they're working for you, and Cat's really been thinking about this a lot.
Yeah.
And we're thinking gonna we're gonna be updating it's a long story, but we're updating the shop, we're gonna be updating the site, we're gonna be moving it so it's faster, we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff, which is very exciting. So one thing I just wanted to show you all here on the screen, this is Vanya and Visky. This is Alarian's Borzoi hounds. You are seeing it here first. We're going to put them up on the site soon, but this is these are the doggies, because we had to have the doggies after we had the kitties. And there's going to be, I mean, there's just too many cats, right? Cat, that just, we need more dogs. Come on, we need to have more dogs in the Raythe menagerie. So these are the doggies. These are so cute. I want to just like totally like love them. Yes, the banana dragon, the sunshine dragon is coming. Okay, so out of curiosity, how do Akith and Raziel compare size-wise? Akith is a titanic dragon. I think that Raziel is sort of like the dragon of dragons, if that makes sense. So they are the largest. But they are definitely, Akith is the size of like Mephis, I think. Banana dragon. Oh my God. Lily, what are you doing? Okay. Okay, so all the love Wraith. I was thinking a cute thing for this story would be Julian's undead raven Corbin to come through the wall to be with Julian. Imagine everyone's reaction to him, especially some raven shifters seeing him. Can't wait. I actually think that something like this could happen with the mirror, because I do think that the Corbin is obviously a spirit. And like, I think that they could maybe inhabit another body, which is going to be an interesting thing, because if you think about it, the spirits met mold. Well, they basically they mold with humans, but this is going to be interesting. Oh, the raven shifters are going to totally freak out. I don't know if they'd like a dead bird, but they might be like, oh, this is sort of cool though, too, at the same time. I love it. Lily, everybody's given sleeping chats. This is so kind of you. It's so amazing. All this money does, by the way, go back into this site. As Kat can tell you, we really just seemingly more money goes out than comes in. It's amazing
Oh
how
my
that
god,
happens.
we're so bad. We're so
Oh,
bad.
so bad. And
This
there's
is
like
what being an
Sylvia.
art publisher is.
Yeah, Sylvia's like, wait. At first she's like, we should be totally financially responsible. I'm like, yes, you're right. And then she's like, ooh, what about doing an art book? I'm like, yes, that's fun. You're just not. Yeah, it's the worst. Like, but I think it's the best. That's the whole idea. Is really Wraith Rain is about making art and like creating things and like seeing your guys' reactions. Like that is like the biggest and best thing ever. It truly is. Um, so Kat, you've got a buddy agreeing with you. So Ellie says, plus I've been enjoying re-listening to Dragon's Reign and catching up with Empire of Stars. Wraith is really feeding us with these audiobooks. I'm with Kat on this one, that there's no more. Yeah, because I'm still doing the live streams of Empire of Stars. on like some Thursdays, like once a month on that too.
We also
So
have to finish Dragon's Reign, the podcast.
yes, yes.
We can't be running the sequel on in audio before the audio thing is finished.
Yeah,
So,
no, we cannot. We absolutely cannot. So
like,
I
if
love
we had
that.
a magic wand and could make everything into audio, we totally would, because visually impaired. So it's great, but we don't
Yes,
have a magic wand. It's just us raccoons.
I know it's just us raccoons. And I still have a day job. Kat has other responsibilities, but we really do spend like I don't even know. I get a much. I think I do. I work 100 hours a week,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. I'm a caregiver, so
Woo! Yeah, 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 yeah. So Draco Dawnstar says Jahara is epic, and this is one thing she's my favorite. You did me proud when you created her Raythe. You were invited to the barbecue, and that is the greatest honor of my life when you tell me that. Um, Going back and writing all the dragons. So there's this one scene, this chapter, where it's from Valerius's point of view, and everybody's in their basically they're watching the end of the press conference that Ilarion gives after the Colossus has been quote unquote defeated or sent packing, not permanently, obviously. And there he is, totally naked, hands on hips, thrusting those hips out, in front of his favorite blonde reporter, Mandy Walters, proudly proclaiming that Vazith is the mate of Memphis, which is absolutely true and absolutely positive, though he has no idea who Vazith actually bonded with because Caspian has not been able to reach his mind, nor his mind Caspian's. He has no idea that Dr. Caspian Hartley, a man, the ginger, as he calls him, and by the way, they have nicknames for each other, which are not nice. So Caspian is the ginger because he's got this Titian colored red hair. And at Caspian calls him the BDO, which is the big dumb oaf. He almost called him the big dumb green oaf, but then he decided he didn't need to insult Memphis. So the two of them are at odds, and there's on camera again, just like what Ilarion did with Caden. He proclaims that the person that Vazith mated, like basically bonded with, is his mate, not just picturing that he knows because he told Vazith forever exactly the type of woman he's looking for, which is really Mandy Walters, who is right there. But he is positive of this. And then, so Mandy's interviewing him and he's proudly proclaiming this. And she's just like, she mentions Hermes. Because at first we see Hermes over by Vazith leaning against one of Vazith's large clawed hands, forelimbs. And then and basically like because Mandy asks, are you going to be a cat and a dog person because of this cat being so close to Vazeth? And Ilarion's like, oh, that cat was just seeking warmth. And she's like, but it's on Vazeth's head now. She's like, what? She's like, no. She's like, yes, yes. Vazeth put Hermes on top of her head. So imagine this massive ruby purplish dragon, and on top of the dragon's head is this tiny cat, this Persian cat looking down at all of them. And Ilarion is not looking over there, and he says, no, no, it's not there. But it is there, Ilarion. You just need to turn on. No, 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 no. He's like in denial because he knows what this means, that the witch cat is on Vazeth's head. Cat on head. He turns around, he sees this, and they're clearly communicating telepathically. And he screams, Vazeth, what have you done? And then basically Valerius and all the other dragon shifters are watching this on television as Ilarion says, this press conference is over, over. And he storms off because he realizes that Vazeth has actually bonded with Dr. Caspian Hartley, the ginger. And remember, basically, Ilarion has been very clear that he is, I would say, not really into men, that he's into women, that's his preference, that's what he would like, and the type of woman he wants. He's talked at length with Vazeth about this. And Vazeth clearly has made a very different decision. So when we get back, so we're having all the dragons on sort of like a gigantic Zoom call on these planes. And I got to basically be and experience being each and every one of the Dragon Kings and Queens again, from Tez to May to Jahara to Esme. Wally is there, Caden is there, Anwar is there, Fidel is there, and it was Marban is there, and I'm just telling you right now, Kayla is there, and it has been like the biggest joy to be writing them again. I really worried that I was not going to be able to recapture the magic, or I wouldn't know these characters again, because it's been 4 years since I've written Dragon's Reign. But here I am, and it was like effortless. And writing them again, how much I love them, and just how I just felt like, oh my God. And you know that some of the, dragons, they were influenced by members' comments and all this kind of stuff. So it really means a ton to go back to them and be writing them again. It's just fan-fucking-tastic. So I think, Kat, we need to do another giveaway.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's so much more to talk about, but I want to make sure that we all get.
We have to give away these calendars.
We have to give away these calendars. So we get away
so many.
So far. We need to give out 4 more. All right. So the next, it's going to be third, THIRD. THIRD. Please put it in the chat. There's going to be 4 of you. Okay. All right. Oh, Leisurely Panda, you gave another. Jesus Christ. I'll get to that, I swear, in a minute. I just want to go through. We just want to do this. 1 second here. Everyone's like, look at the babies. Wiener dogs in the universe. We definitely do.
Okay, I rolled. Do you see
my God, Elder Dragon, money for the art book. Oh my God, I love it. Hold on.
There's a lot of stream activity.
There's another one from Billy. Jesus Christ, guys.
All right, let's get through this reroll and then we can answer super chat.
Oh my God. It doesn't alert me when you guys do super chats. Oh my God, more for Leisurely Panda. Jesus Christ. All right, so I missed one, I think. Hold on a second here. All right. Dragon Duck, you won the giveaway. So please email Kat at marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com for your calendar. Your calendar. All right, let's do the next one. Kaitan, you won the giveaway. Email marketing@raytherain.com with your address, with your physical address for a calendar. Congratulations, Kaitan. Congratulations. Shayna's Calamity, you won the giveaway. We are email your address to marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com. This is incredible. All right, 1 more or 2 more. I'm not quite sure. It's 1 more or 2 more.
Whatever.
We'll just, do 2 more. All right. We have here Alexander Granite Beam. You won the giveaway. Email marketing@raytherain.com with your address. Marketing@raytherain.com with your address. Let's see if the next one comes in. All right, we have Jit91 Faves. You won the giveaway. Email marketing@raytherain.com with your address. Let's give out 1 more, Kat.
Okay. This will be number 7, and that's as many as I can track down at once.
All right.
Wait a second.
7. Study Buddies 9663. You won the giveaway. Email marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com. So if I missed anybody, because this goes so fast when it's like this, don't worry. If you've won, look for this. All right. Now I have to scroll up because I've got to get to all these Jesus. Uh, okay, there's a pig one in EOS. Chili is in EOS, yes. Okay. All right, please tell me I did not. Please tell me I did not lose some of the Casey so much. I also The Abyss. I love that story, but it does warm my heart too. Yes, it's one of the originals. Um, Travel and solo. Love that you got people that are unable to read or for who is difficult for what reason. Love your enthusiasm. We really need to get this site more. Oh my God, I've missed now all these. Kat, is there any way you can get from the chat from? 'Cause I
I'm
cannot.
looking. It's like it cuts off at the top.
It cuts off. What the fuck?
I've never seen
Repost
it.
your oh, damn it. Thank you so much, Elder Dragon. Guys, this is so frustrating. Why does this cut it off? Okay, it's just totally cutting it off. Is there an ETA for the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter? I got my Everdark and I need some more pretties. Yes, we think we're going to be doing it in fall to winter. And the reason is I think I found finally, but I have to clarify this, but we think we found the plushies. So this is going to be, that was the thing that was really holding us up. So Rihanna asks, are you going to keep the old podcast of Raythe Rain up on YouTube after you finish the new one? Yeah, I think so. I don't see why not. Because I think people really like that one. And I think it's still reaching people even to this day. We're going to do recipe cards for the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter. Yes. All right. Here we go. Okay, Lily. Gosh darn it. So Lily says, this is all for the fun thoughts and ideas a raccoon thinks of, or maybe for some cakes and Diet Coke for those meetings long nights. You do so much for us. I can't thank you enough for making this a safe place for all of us. Lily, Legion Panda, all of you who have, just members, kind of stuff. I can't thank you enough. It's just ridiculous. And we do it for you because you do it for us. You know how I was explaining I was talking about when we always have like sort of, I don't know if we call it a theme for the year, but like we talk about what we want for Raythe Rain, what is our goals for Raythe Rain for the year. And one of the things that we really wanted to do was, quite frankly, make it so that the membership just knows how much they're loved. And we wanted to do this the year of improving the membership, so that there was more stuff for everyone to enjoy and to make it easier to come in. Because for me, for example, adding these author notes at the end of chapters now, I don't know why the hell I didn't do this before. I have no idea why I didn't do this. I've always been like, oh, I want to tell everybody what I'm thinking, and I just didn't do it. So I've been doing that, and the response has been off the charts, amazing. And I'm like, the thing I love the most is after I finished a chapter, even if it's like 4 in the fucking morning, I cannot wait to see those first comments come in. When I get up the next day, I am like, oh my God, I've got to see what people have said. And this give and take is what I live for. I think of myself as basically telling stories around a fire, and we are the internet fireplace. And I am telling these stories to you to see your reactions to them. I am not telling these in a void for them to go on Amazon to maybe someday hear a review, which, is just not really for me. It's for other readers. But the comments, they are for me. And I get to react to them, and I get to just love them and hold them and squeeze them and adore them. Okay, so Mott the Tater Tot for 1999. Awesome. Alarion is my favorite Dragon's Reign character. And I had a headcanon years ago that he'd have a male mate. You were prescient, I'm telling you. So happy to see it actually happening. Also excited to think about someday the audio player on the site being updated. We are so looking forward to the audio update of the site being updated. Can I just tell you, Kat especially, since she has to deal with that piece of crap, um, that is like huge. That is like huge. Okay, Leisurely Panda, $20. Another fascinating thought. Vozeth identifies as a female dragon. She does, which is really interesting. What does Vozeth think regarding gender? Obviously, being female would mean something different for a dragon, so this could be fun. Yeah, the dragons really. Okay, so Akith goes by they, them. Uh, Raziel goes by it. Iolair goes by it. They don't do that. Voz goes by her. Mephis goes by him. What I think that Voz is, they'll ask about that. I think that's going to happen, and she's just going to be like, the mother of dragons, so to speak. I guess. I'm gonna. It's gonna be interesting to see what she says because I think she does have a unique perspective on it. And in a way, this is going to be Alarian arguing with her about this, in terms of you understand gender, unlike a lot of the dragons. So you knew this was going to be an issue. And she was just like, I'm bonded to who I'm bonded to, and who is meant for me. And it's Caspian. And he's my one. And I hope you can respect that choice. And it's really an interesting thing because one of the things that, okay, so this is a big reveal for those of you who haven't. I don't know if you stop your ears or whatever, but like I said, this is all about the spoilers. This has all happened, by the way, in the story. So Alarian stalks off from the press conference. Voz and Caspian go after him. Voz really goes after him. Caspian's like, I want to go back to Reach and talk to my people, let Selby know I'm alive and let my students know I'm alive and get some clothes on and figure things out. And like, oh my God, I got to check that the wall's okay and all this kind of stuff. And Voz is like, I have to talk to Alarian first. And he's like, why? And she basically says, I need him to know I haven't made a mistake in choosing you. He needs to understand that this wasn't a mistake. And Caspian, and this really got some members, and they were like, oh my God, he's being such a jerk. And he is, but you should understand that he's basically been both claimed as a mate by Alarian and then rejected as a mate by Alarian because simply of his gender. And he's just sort of like, what the fuck? Like, you don't get to claim me as anything, and you don't get to, you don't get to act in my stead. You don't get to just, I'm not here for your pleasure. I am a dragon shifter in my own right, a person in my own right, and you have nothing to do with that. So what that Mephis and Vozeth are mates? That has nothing to do with you and me. And that shouldn't have anything to do with you and me. And Alarian says, you're wrong, and dragons lie. The last chapter, chapter 8, is called Dragons Lie. That's the title of it. Now, you all remember back in Dragon's Reign, none of them mentioned the behemoth. They were like, oh, yeah, that's, we don't really want to talk about that. And they sort of, until they absolutely had to talk about it, they never mentioned it and the thing that's happened. And they never mentioned that once they bonded with their human, they don't leave their lairs in the spirit realm. If they leave their lairs in the spirit realm, then the person becomes mortal and weak again. So, which was a big deal when later on Alarian urged Mephis to go and fly and find Fidel and the other lost souls in the spirit realm and bring them back. So he was willing to be mortal and in danger in order for basically them to go save people. And he says they don't get to leave their lairs. Now, Raziel and Iolair are together in a lair, so they are now together and they love one another, and all this is wonderful. But the only way that happened, Alarian claims, is because is because Valerius and Caden got together romantically and are the stuff. But remember, Valerius said that he and Caden are chosen mates. They've chosen each other. They're not fated. This is not like they're not forced to be together. They're choosing to be together. And so their dragons are in the same lair. And basically Alarian says, actually, that's sort of bullshit. He It's like from what I can see, from what I've, looked at and investigated and found, unless you and me, Caspian, are lovers, are fated or mated to one another, our dragons will never share the same lair together. They will be forever separated. And since we cannot love one another, they will be forever separated. So you are a mistake. Vazeth chose you because you were there to save Mephis and me. But this is not, basically, by choosing you, she has ensured that she and Mephis will never be able to share a lair together and be as one, because it doesn't work that way. And basically, Caspian is shocked and horrified and all the things. So it's going to be a very interesting. Is Alarion right? Is he wrong? He's definitely not just bullshitting. He believes this. He truly believes this. But there's another thing that Vazeth tries to tell Caspian about Ilarion. And she basically says one of the reasons why he is so desperate for me to Vazeth to have come to Earth and joined with a human spirit is because he believes he's unlovable. And that the only way that any woman or anyone would love him is if they're made to love him, basically, that they have to love him. And that's part of it. For him, this is like his only, I mean, he has girlfriends all the time. He has no problem finding girlfriends. He's got a bad picker, but he is an attractive guy, one of the most powerful men in the entire world. Has no problem. Has no problem. But finding love, he's never done it. He's never been able to do it. And he thinks that, the only way to have the person that he's truly meant to be with is when Vazeth chooses. And then Vazeth chooses the ginger. Not only is Caspian a man, but Caspian seems to loathe him and think he's basically, stupid. And that's true. And he finds Caspian, persnickety and not at all what he's looking for. And now he has, like, basically, how shall I say, he has to, he's like, this is not the person for me. But as we all know, this is a Raythe story, so it will be. So, study buddy, if you got another calendar, yes. So if you got a calendar, if you won twice, I don't know if you have one twice, but if you actually got one already, you could pick something else. You could work it out with Kat. Look for something that's probably a digital product, because that'll be easier if you don't have it. Like, for example, an audiobook, but if you have all that, we may be able to send you a physical book. So keep that in mind.
Oh, we got it worked out. I'm going to send stickers.
Oh, stickers, fantastic. So
they're so cute.
Stickers. They are so cute. They are so cute. Yeah, you won twice. Good Lord. What's going on, Nightbot? Okay. So I do want to talk a little bit about, even though it's pretty much farther down the line, about Dragon's Reign, the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter. We had hoped to do it in May, but trying to find a couple things have to happen. First, I've got to finish the Everdarks Extra. I know this is like painful. I just have not literally had the time to write an extra chapter in any week. I just haven't had it. But I'm going to find the time now. I'm going to make it happen, because that has to happen before we do the next thing. So what we're doing while we've been looking for plushies, we've got pretty much the books, like the interiors done, a lot of the art done, a lot of beautiful, beautiful stuff done for the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter. And what we're doing for the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter is we're doing a white dragon version and a black dragon version, which is why it's taken longer. So there's two options. The interior and exteriors will be different. They're gorgeous. I mean, they're gorgeous. They'll all have extra art, both from Mythia, all the art from those books, but also T-Wolf has done extensive art, both not safe for work and safe for work. So we're going to have those two versions of it. We're also going to have the audio books, but we're not going to have the audio done literally until summer. So we have to wait on that to be done. So you'll have the audiobooks again, you'll have the hardcovers, two versions of it. Then we're also going to have a white dragon plushie and a black dragon plushie. That's our hope. So you could buy those. And that's been difficult to get, but we think we found what we're looking for, and going to get those and sell those. We're also going to have the dragons. We're going to have the beautiful leather bookmarks that will be added into it, and we'll also have obviously a goodie bag, electronic goodie bag, and all this other kind of stuff. So that will be happening at the end of the year. So that's just yeah, exactly. So this is all okay. Will we be able to choose Everdark merch in the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter? Everdark merch. Yes, if there's something you really want, email marketing@raytherain.com and we'll see if we can't accommodate you. But there won't be Everdark merch in the Dragon's Reign Kickstarter. There will not be. So this is what we have planned, and God knows, I'm not going to give dates on this, but so the art book's probably going to be the first thing we do after I finish this extra. We're going to put the art book up on Kickstarter again. So Sophia has done an incredible job. She and Chris are doing an incredible job, and there'll be all this information in there. But most importantly, it'll be beautiful. It'll be glossy. It'll be gorgeous. So look forward to that. We are also doing the Dark Earth Kickstarter. We are finding manga printers. So we're going to do the entirety of the Dark Earth. We're going to have split it up a bit, more art and stuff like that. We're also going to go through and fix a bunch of things. We're also going to have the serial made into 2 volumes of hardcovers. So that's going to come, and then we're going to do Dragon's Reign as well. So we will see how that all goes. Okay. La, 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 la. Okay. So the recipe cards. Yes. So one of the things in Dragon's Reign has been the sauces I make, honestly, for fondue, which are the meat sauces that they use in Dragon's Reign, which we're going to include. Thank you very much for just author's notes are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Reddick, good luck. Oh my God, Miss Starry, thank you. I'm intrigued by the potential dynamic between Caden and Damon. Will Damon be surprised by Caden's kindness, especially since he is married to such a jaded king? What will they learn from one another? Damon will be very fond of Caden. I think Caden and Julian are similar in some ways. Julian's got a bit more of an edge and a bit more of an adventurer. But I think Caden's goodness, in a way, is what, how shall I say, inspires Damon to want to help them a lot. And he will also, though, one of the things that Caden is going to do is going to be a sounding board for Julian, because both of them are dealing with men who are incredibly powerful and much older than they are and have been ruling for a lot longer. And how do you come in and say, yeah, I know that you've got millennia of wisdom and I've got something like 25 years of it, but I think you're not doing the right thing. How do you get that same respect, and how do you make that work? And I think that the two of them will learn from one another, but I do think that Damon will have very much a paternal instinct towards Caden. Very much so. Very much so. I am so glad you guys are with the author notes, because I am now adding them all over the place and I'm just loving this. So I just really love it. Oh, there's been some questions about this. So this is something that, for those of you who don't know, even if you're members, you may not know this. I am literally writing up to the moment that it's posted. So if it's posted at 4 a.m, that means I've been writing it up till 4 a.m. And people are like, oh, but it was due the day before. I'm like, yeah, but do you want it good or fast? Because it's like that 3-legged stool. Can't have,
It's the builder's triangle.
It's the builder's triangle, man. So I'm literally up till 4 a.m. before I put it up on the site. So just know that you'll get all the chapters in the month, but they may be moved or shifted or all this kind of stuff because legitimately I don't write ahead. I can't write ahead. I need your comments and to know where things are going. So there are no chapter. The next chapter of Everrain is not written, nor is the next chapter of Everdark Equinox. That will not start to be written until Monday.
Okay, I got the fan art of Vazith and the kitty.
Ooh. Can you
It's in the folder.
It's in the folder. All right. So see, Kat, like, is so freaking. Hold on. What is it titled?
It says spoiler, Vazith Hermes.
Okay, let me just. Of course, it's not. Let me just refresh this and see if I can't. There we go. Let me get this. Let me download this. I hope so we could share it with everybody. Hold on a second here. La, 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 la. Okay, graphics. There's just some weird shit going on with the back end of Restream IO that I do not like. They keep, quote unquote, how shall I say, like updating it, like, oh, isn't this amazing? And it's like, no, it's really not amazing. Oh my God. Is that not the most adorable thing ever? So there's Vazith with Hermes on her head. There we go. But yes, so you are literally, I'm not holding back any chapters from you guys. That's not how that works. I literally just, I absolutely love doing this. So writing up to the moment. This I love too because the comments in the author notes is like participating in a huge book club. It's exactly what it's like. We just need more wine. Okay. Let's see here. You don't want, interesting, you do not want Anwar, a throuple. Him and Fadal need an Arabic man. Interesting. A throuple. I don't know. Our little monster's going to keep him happy. All right. So Leisurely Panda says, Illyrian's black and white thinking is going to be interesting, especially compared to Caspian's intellectual, nuanced approach to life. But they both kind of think they're unworthy of love. They absolutely do. Both of them are completely shut off and think they're weirdos. And it's going to be great. I mean, when they really, one of the things that I think has come across is that Illyrian is blunt, but he's smart. He just says the things out loud that the rest of us won't say. I mean, it's just like, oh my God. So he's not, in some ways, it's like he isn't nuanced a lot because he'll say, yeah, there's nuance, but the thing is, we all feel things pretty clearly. Something may be nuanced, but, it still hurts, so to speak. It doesn't matter that it maybe is like, the nuances say that it shouldn't hurt, but it does still hurt. I love how, like, no, you can't give me choices. Yes, when you guys see the black and white versions, and there's going to be a version where you can get both, but my God. I love this. I may or may not be planning a place to stick my plushies already. I will put it on my bookshelf of honor. So we were trying to get ones done that were completely, how shall I put this? Exactly as they appear on the art. That's just not going to happen. It can't. The cost of it is too much. We found ones where we did a design where we think this will be good. If you want both the black and the white book, you can get both. Will you email a link to the Kickstarter when it's available in your email newsletter? Absolutely. You believe me. We will be having live streams. There will be multiple emails. Kat will be singing it to the stars. Okay, she's already answered that. So, okay, wait. I'm so glad if you Chibi Dragon Triggers. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Yes. My whole second here as I'm going.
This is hard because my stream is so far behind.
I know it is so far behind.
Hang on, let me refresh. Let me make, maybe it'll catch up.
I know. I'm not even where they're reacting to the kitten.
Right? Okay, now I just saw the dragon. This is ridiculous.
It's like it's so crazed. Okay, getting my sleep. Yeah, I have not been getting. I have not been getting any sleep. Not been getting any sleep. Okay, now I'm supposedly down at the end of the comments, which is like good, I guess, or it's just stopped commenting, which is always good.
I'm gonna test something.
Okay.
Well, I see my own comment. I don't know if that means anything.
Oh, it now finally just came through. Okay. All right. That's all good. We're all good. All right. I think we need to have how many giveaways have we gotten?
Let me take a look. I have a spreadsheet. Can you believe it? Luke has trained me.
You and Luke are really like quite something. Good
So
lord.
we've given away, oh, here's another one that just came in. So we're at about 12, and I know we have at least 20.
Yeah, we do. We have over 20. Yeah. So we need to give away more.
Yeah.
So what let me just answer Miss Starry's question here. Will Larian start to question if Valerius is really his friend because he messed up while Val and Caden were on their honeymoon? Yes. I feel like Valerian thinks he's unworthy compared to the others. He does. He does. He absolutely does because on the one hand, he felt like he couldn't keep control of his territory. So he's basically set it up as a democracy and sort of flown off because of all the terrible things that happened, and nobody else seems to be having that issue. But that is the truth is being able to change and figuring stuff out is one of the things that is his strength. He can turn on a dime. He can figure it out and do it all. Um, because that is like, how was I going to say? Like, I think for a lot of people, changing and letting go of stuff like that and doing something different, he's like, I feel like Alarian has a lot of inner thought, like imposter thoughts in some ways, despite the fact that he's very proud of himself and very being with Memphis is like the best thing in his life, and they're like best buddies, and he loves Memphis to death, and everything like that. But I do get the sense from Hilarion that he's really not had the best of luck in terms of friendships and everything, and him and Valerius, he's going to worry that Valerius is going to be really mad. And Valerius is just going to be like, no, this could have happened to anyone, but of course it would happen to you because, as Rose describes, by the way, as Rose is describing Ilarion to Julian, she says that he lives life on maximum difficulty. And it is so true. He really does. He does not make things easy for himself. And I think he enjoys the things that a lot of the other dragon shifters don't allow themselves to admit. Like, he loves like the press, and he loves signing autographs, and he loves like being out and about and adored in some ways. And he didn't know how to get that before. Now he's getting it. And all the rest of them are like, oh, well, we should be sober and serious, and we shouldn't be showing that we're enjoying the adoration. But he's just like, give it to me. I love it. And yeah. Um, I think that's true. So Ilarian's past is similar to Valerius's to a certain extent. He was born into war, and he really was sort of a mercenary. Um, and he was constantly trying to, I think, please his father, especially in this, and he never really got that. And he was always made to feel lesser, I think. And the ironic part was like that Memphis, who has always felt lesser to Raziel, was like, let's prove them all wrong together. And this is so Val. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in the universe and giving this problem to you while I'm away. That's exactly what he thinks. That's exactly what he thinks because he's like, oh my god. But he's going to come back, and he's because one of the next chapters is going to be, well, he's going to be meeting Malarius is going to meet Damon. I think we're going to have Damon's point of view next, which is going to be interesting. It's always interesting being from him. when they meet. But one of the things when Valerius and Ilarion meet, Ilarion's going to be like, look, I know you told me not to go buy the dig and all this kind of stuff. He's like, it's fine. I don't think it really has anything to do with that. But one of the things that I think Valerius will basically tell him is like, I'm glad you were there. And Larry's gonna be like, what? It's like, thank God you were there because you're, so strong. You and Memphis are very good at fighting. And it could have been much worse if you hadn't been there. That you hadn't been bravely going out there. And Larry's going to be like, oh yeah, of course, it had to be me. It wouldn't have been any of the others. And then he's like so relieved, he just like really relieved that um Valerius isn't mad. And then he's like, well, Larry's like, what about the mate thing? Are you mad at me about that? Bringing it up like with Caden? And Valerius is like, that's your problem now. He's like, it's not my problem that you did this. He's just like, you foolishly opened your mouth. This is on you, man. So he wanted to kill them before because they were giving him bad press, Trixon, because they were all saying he was a bad guy. But now that they say he's a good guy, he likes it. He really likes it. Leisurely Panda said, I always had the head canon. Valerian was a mama's boy, honestly. I think he was closer to his mother. I think that actually, and she was quite something. But I think back in the day, I really feel he had a father who beat his mother and did all these other bad things. And we're going to find out that Ilarion is a real sweetheart. And very worthy of this. But he and Memphis definitely sort of like bonded over the fact that they felt second best. Although not anymore, like I said, it's, because quite frankly, Caden has been making them feel like, no, you're awesome. Everyone's like, sleep, Raythe. I know, but if I had my druthers, if I didn't have a freaking day job, although it's important to pay the mortgage, and then use the money for the fun things, for the site, for everything that we're doing. I am a night person. I mean, Kat can attest to this. If I could really be up all night and sleep most of the day, I would. I so would. Okay, so Mott the Tater Tot says, Ilarion having imposter syndrome. It's interesting to think a lot of his confidence comes from being bonded to Memphis rather than from within. Yes. Ilarion was, I think, Ilarion's mom, I think, really loved him and stuff like that. But I really get the impression that he has been made to feel by those who he respected or wanted as not quite. He was not taken under the wing of someone. And but I mean, when I really think at the end of Dragon's Reign 1, when he and Valerius are becoming friends, and Ilarion just takes to being Valerius's best friend like a duck to water. Like he doesn't resist it. Once he's got like, oh, we could be friends. You want to be friends? Like we could do this. It's like he automatically falls right into that role, and it's clear that he wants it, that he wants that warmth, that if he's like, oh wait, if I give up acting like a dictator and I could just hang out and not have to do that, I'd rather do that. So when he gets that opportunity, I think that is really what goes on here. And Leisurely Panda says also it sounds psychologically that Ilarion is missing a lot of validation and positive relationships in his life. That's exactly it. Because I think that he has been told what a man should be, and therefore he's behaved in a certain way and sought out certain people who are never going to give him the validation and warmth and love that he really needs, and openness and safe space. And ironically, he is going to get that from Valerius and a lot of other people he wouldn't have thought about. So I love this. So Maxwell says, I just got the membership. Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. We so appreciate it and love the voice actors, but I still weirdly miss Raythe's voice. So don't worry, I am doing the Night Prince, although members also get free copies of Edward's version of the Night Prince. I am doing the Night Prince, and that will be continuing. I will be continuing to do that. And I'm going to continue to do voice work. Don't worry about that. Ooh, I hear a meowing cat.
Oh my god, he's got something good. He wants me to go see his kill.
Ooh,
Oh
I
no,
love.
never mind. He and Tiger are playing spy versus spy in the hall.
Oh my god, adorable. So Elder Dragon says they just want to get their books to a point where they can be published. Excellent. Let us know when you do that. We're all excited to hear. Um, so Cersei says Raythe is spoiling us all with the cool interactions are coming soon in Everrain, and I can't wait for them all to happen. There are so many things. Like, so I'm thinking about Monday's chapter, which is like we're in Damon's point of view, and so Damon wakes up and they're in the dungeon in High Reach, where Rose has brought them with the blood and everything like that, and he sees Caden speaking to Rose in the doorway. And she's just like, well, I know Valerius and Caden have just landed. I'm going to go greet them. And then do you think you're feel up to speaking with them? And he's just like, I want to get Damon settled a little bit. We'll see what happens. Like, of course, they can come down and, say hello, but I need to get him to be feeding and all this kind of stuff. We may need more blood and all this kind of stuff. And Damon's watching this and observing this, making sure that Julian's okay. Because one of the things about Damon and Julian's relationship is Damon gives Julian a lot of rope to hang himself. Okay. He lets him go out and do things that are dangerous because he knows that he would break Julian's spirit if he were constantly bigfooting him, constantly over this. But this situation going to the Dragon's Reign universe, he needed to step in. So he's watching it to make sure that Julian's okay, but he's already very proud of Julian for befriending the people they need to befriend to keep them safe while they're here. And he's going to be very proud of Julian and what he did with the media. But again, the best of intention can lead to hell. Let's just put it that way, because that's going to be interesting. Because Julian, of course, does not want to, in any way, shape, or form, um, take over another world. He's not comfortable with Damon conquering Earth. So to conquer this place, it's like, no, this is theirs. So it's going to be a very interesting thing that's going to happen between them, because there is going to be conflict there. And it's going to be fascinating what's going to happen. So this next chapter, though, obviously with Damon and Julian, is just like they're gonna cuddle for a minute. He's gonna feed him some blood, and then Valerius, Caden, and Esme are going to come down. And this is going to be interesting to see their first reaction. Because a lot of the dragons from Vazith and Memphis, so Vazith says something very important. So Caspian's like, well, thank goodness he came, Damon came and saved everybody. And she goes, oh no, he saved Julian. The rest of us just got lucky. And she knows that he is not what he seems, and Memphis does too. So, and they're like, the thing is that Raziel and Damon have a lot in common. So this is going to be a really interesting dynamic between them. So it's really going to be like, Raziel, because he's going to see the spirits just like Caden can see the spirits. So it's going to be cool. There's going to be a scene coming up with the mirror and Damon, which is going to be very interesting. Yes. So that's not Monday. I'm sorry. That's next month. Monday is Everdark Equinox, which I'm very excited about. Which, if you are a member and are reading Everdark Equinox, please put your thoughts for Quinn and Kay Morn's lovemaking in the comments. Okay. Small dragon syndrome. I actually take naps every day. It's awesome. I spent a lot of it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Kat, this is huge. We should do another giveaway, but Kristen just said something that's really important that we wanted to talk to you guys about. That's going to come up. Kristen says, I love your books. They inspired me to write my own fan fiction. We are going to do a fan fiction It's not really a contest.
It's not a contest. It's like an exhibition.
Right. So it's going to be we're going to have it be I think Dragon's Reign. We're going to keep it to Dragon's Reign fan
Yeah,
fiction.
we're gonna have several of these, but we want to do it by story so that it's not like a jumble.
Hmm.
And that way everybody can talk about ideas and stuff on the Discord.
Yes. So the idea will be is that we will say we want you to do Dragon's Reign fan fiction. Please post it on AO3, and whoever gets the most kudos for their story will get T Wolf to make an illustration for that story for them that they can have and post and do all the stuff. And I think we're going to say that it's going to be that we'd like you to have the stories done in late March, but we will have an email after the sale. We'll figure this all out. But
Yeah.
just so you know, that's the idea. Is that if you do fan fiction, you post on AO3, depending on who basically gets the most kudos because that's out of everybody's hands. That person will get an illustration of their story from T Wolf that they will have that will be theirs to post and stuff like that. Let's see here. So Miss Sari says, I love Mephis's bond with Ilarion. Mephis seems to go along with almost anything Ilarion wants because Mephis loves him. Mephis has unconditional love for Ilarion, and Ilarion's unconditional love back has made them so tight, so good together. And that's part of the reason why I think that they're so effective normally in fighting because they really have each other's backs fully. So here we go. We have Lynn McCrary says, currently I'm working on chapter 10 of my second book. Yay! Raythe really inspires me with her writer's work ethic. I'm totally in awe. I'm telling you, Lynn, if I did not have that calendar, even though I don't meet it 100%, but I know that people are waiting to read and comment, and that's how I get my hit of adrenaline, it would be very hard to write because writing it just for yourself until you post, obviously you're writing it for your readers, but I am telling you, it is the absolute best to be posting it and get automatic responses. It's just the best. Trixton says, will we get a flashback of Valerian and Memphis? Yes, I think we absolutely will get. And I hope to God I did not put any history of Valerian and Memphis meeting before because I really want to delve into this far differently. Obviously, Valerian as a character has changed far more since we saw him when he first came. Kitty Lee is asking, will there be a voice actor podcast for this new addition to the stories? Not for a very long time. I don't think there will. I think that if it's done, it will be me doing it, and that will be quite a few years from now. So this will not, Everrain will not be, and I how shall I put this? I totally feel for all of you who really don't have the money now to sign up for membership, but Everrain is really a gift for members to really thank them for everything. And that's just going to be behind the paywall. So it's not going to be for free. You're going to have EDA that you're going to be able to listen to in part, and Night Prince you're going to be listening to in part. So and Dragon's Reign, which is still posting. So keep in mind that you have 3 free things. I know that if you might be a member too, and you're just like, oh, I just want to listen to it. It will not be until this is done, and it'll probably just be me doing this. And I have no problem. Like I said, but right now I am reading Empire of Stars, The Night Prince, and finishing up Dragon's Reign. So it's not for a while. Okay. All right.
And generally, we don't do audio until something's completely finished. Like if we contract out with people like we did with Her Grace Reads, it has to all be done. And, if it's just Raythe doing it, we kind of let the Night Prince slide just because we wanted to get it out. But in general, we really can't do an audio of something until it's 100% finished.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Because you always go back and change the beginning
Yeah.
based on what's happened later in the story.
Absolutely. There's a lot of that. I'm having to do less of it now because I think we do a lot of pre-work where I do a lot of pressure checking for these stories with Kat and Sylvia and now Luke, where I basically tell them like, okay, this is my idea for these characters, and then they'll act like I said, here Sylvia and I are at dinner drinking, and she's just like, arc, arc for Damon. And so I will. That's what I would say, like that. That's like, in importante. So that's helpful. So Trixon asks, how long does the fan fiction need to be? It can be of any length. There's no length requirement. And Ren asks, for the fan fiction challenge, I may already have an idea of doing a crossover of my own stories. Fantastic. Lily, you must try. Don't worry. We'll give people plenty of time to get it done. And like I said, the whole idea is just to everybody. I will say that readers all have fantastic ideas and for stories in this and like characters and all this kind of stuff. And I really want to encourage that so that you all can do it. And I'm telling you, I always get excited for a T Wolf illustration. So I'm like, yeah, I'm stoked. So they asked, so Miss Starry says, so if I write a fanfic about Valerius and Caden's honeymoon, I can submit it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, Lynn, this is incredible. When my paperback comes out, I'd like to send you a copy. My ebook made Amazon bestseller list for teen. That's amazing. Oh, it's steampunk. I definitely want to read this, Lynn. That's right up my alley. Absolutely. Absolutely. Reach out when it's ready to be done. I can't wait. Or send it along and I'll buy it. You don't need to send it to me. Just send me the link. Not in this chat because I'll never be able to do it right now, but send it either to marketing@raytherain.com and I'll get a copy. So the Elementist says, so then a download guy who has to hide until he finds himself. I think that actually in the past, Larian has had relationships with men, but it's going to be an interesting. I have thoughts about how I want to do it. Was it sort of like more of a violent thing? Was there a love interest at one point? Has he ever really been allowed? Because it really was. I always think about it like with the Greeks and the Romans, like, you had deep male friendships where, oftentimes women weren't educated, so they really couldn't be doing that. But you know what I mean? There was all this kind of stuff. Was it more like that? And why but I think Ilarian's just been posing a lot. But when by the way, this is one thing that I was clear about this. It's not the gay for you trope that you typically see where Laren's like, oh, I'm not normally interested in men, but I'm interested in Caspian. He's like more on the spectrum, and he's gonna embrace his bisexuality. Let's put it this way. Good. I don't remember any history. I'm so glad because I do not want that to be. I know we got Esme's and we got Jahara's backstory, and we've got Valerius's backstory, but no, I don't think we did. Which is awesome. So yeah, I would love to leave. Everyone would love to leave Ilarian fanfic. Here we go. I'm working on publishing my Deities book series. Fantastic. Please let us know. We have so many incredibly talented members, readers. I love it. I always want to see more what you guys are doing. I really appreciate that. We all love Edward. I love reading. I'm not as good as him, but I think I bring a different sensibility to it because it is my work. This is so exciting. I'm so glad you guys are excited about the idea of the fanfic because I really do feel like it is going to be so much fun to see what you guys come up with. I cannot wait for you to get your own, illustration from T Wolf. I'll follow. I believe in supporting fellow. I absolutely. This is not. How shall I say this? This is not a scarcity environment. It's not like believe me, I always want another good book. I am happy to see people come into the space. This is like awesome. Okay. I hope this does encourage you to do some more. That's what I want. It's what we want for sure. Okay. Another question. I want to make sure that I don't lose anything before we do another giveaway, Kat.
Mm-hmm.
How will Iolaire feel about Julian and Damon? And how will Raziel feel about Iolaire possibly being nice to Damon? Well, Iolaire is nice to everyone. So Raziel will be unsurprised. It's the Pikachu face that Iolair is kind, but I think Raziel will be cautious and will urge other people to just be like, let. Do you know when, like, Raziel sees in Damon an equal, okay, and knows that this needs to be respected, and that in a way, Damon is really hiding who he is through this humanoid form. And I think Raziel's going to be like, you know, respect. Respect is given, and all this kind of stuff. So here, what I love, okay, so Maxwell says, what I love most, even more than the romance, is all the amazing world building you do. It's inspiring as a writer. I say that I do, paranormal or fantasy books with a romance subplot because because there are so many amazing romance authors out there and I am nowhere near that. That's just really not my bag. My bag is I love doing the romance part of it, but I really love doing the world building more and that kind of stuff and the whole 365 viewpoint. So that's like good.
We were
Okay.
talking yesterday about how it's really just justice fan fiction. Everything that you do.
Yes. Yes. The good are rewarded, the evil are punished, but both are not actually fully evil. This is all the good. The Chronicles of a Mad Lab Assistant. I'm very excited. So people look for that on Amazon. Cersei says there is currently 80 plus Raythe Rain fanfics on AO3. Oh my
Wow.
god, that's amazing. If you like steampunk, do you think you will write a story in that style at some point? I am always intrigued by it. And in a weird way, Dragon Lords will probably have steampunk elements because this is all about alternative energy. Okay, I will just give you a little teaser about this since we are on dragons. So the dragons in that world are found because they discover a mineral seemingly that gives untold energy. And in fact, these minerals are encompassing the dragons as they sleep in the earth. And so, because there's like a crisis, a massive crisis, like environmental crisis on Earth that causes them to be looking for this alternative energy. So, in a way, that might be some stuff. Okay. For the fic challenge, does a fic need to be finished to qualify, or if it's long and ongoing when the challenge ends, will that disqualify it? I do not think we're looking to encourage, so I do not want to disqualify it as I didn't have enough time, so I wrote a novel instead of a short story. I am that exact same way. So we will absolutely not disqualify it. You just have to say that this is part of this part of it. Okay. I like all the details about past history and possible past romances. I like it. I'm excited about this too. Like to get more into delve deep into Valerian because I think that is going to be really fascinating. It's going to give them a lot more depth. It's going to be really fun. So Ren's like, I work at my own serial site. I was wondering if you would like me to send you a membership site discount. You do not have to send me a membership site discount when you are ready. Just give me the link and I will try to sign up. I am not reading a lot right now. I am listening only to audiobooks because I spend much time, way too much fucking time on the computer and in front of screens. So, but I will absolutely be interested in seeing what you're doing, Ren. So, Purple says, it's been a while, but I do remember reading an Everdark fanfic while Damon rides a motorcycle. It's one of my favorite Raythe Rain fanfics. Awesome. I love that. Oh, good. We have Tez, Esme, Jahara. Yes, we do, because Tez was trapped in a mine. Jahara, as we know, she was sold by her father. May, we know because it became a big part of whether she was good or bad. She's actually a bandit. And Valerius. Hold on a second. This is all good. Okay. I know you want to work on your original stuff, but come on, go to the dark side, write a fanfic. Trixon says, random question. I know you're into D&D. Do you watch or listen to any of the Critical Role in their campaigns? I've tried. I cannot get into them. I've really loved uh, the animes, but I've been unable. I don't know why. I just cannot get into Critical Role. I've tried. I just can't do it.
I can't
Because
either.
I can't explain why. It's not that he isn't a great DM or whatever, but I feel like um so one of the things that, because I do D&D, but I did do it at I did DM for a while. I'm not good at the technical stuff, but I am good at the story playing. I always feel like, these DMs, like, they give all this color, and then so this person does something that maybe that they're not really interested in. Instead of running with it and saying, okay, well, let's bring this part of the story, they just are like, oh, there's nothing there. And I find that Matt Mercer does that a fuck ton. And I'm like, why did you describe any of this then? I mean, if it's not important, only put what's important and be able to basically move one way or another. And it's just, it feels really, I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but I just cannot get into it. Yes, Trixon, your world building reminds me of D&D. Yes, it is actually based on this D&D concept. D&D is massive. I think a tag, Ness, is a great idea. Could you connect with Kat, please, so that people can do it? That's a great idea. All right, we are going to do a giveaway, Kat. Another giveaway. All right,
Yep.
we're going to do, and what is the word? It's fourth. 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 Put fourth in the, it's like, it's so freaking,
It's quite delayed.
it is so delayed. So delayed. Fourth. Fourth, people. Congratulations, Wraith Rain Ranger. You got a calendar. You got a calendar. Please email marketing@wraithrain.com with your address. Please email wraithrain.com with marketing@wraithrain.com with your address. Ooh. Just call me Mink 5585. You have won a calendar. Email marketing@wraithrain.com with your address. Email marketing@wraithrain.com for your address. Woo! Fantastic. All right, here's another one. Lily23TV, you won the giveaway. You just need to email Kat at marketing@wraithrain.com with your address, and she will be sending you a calendar or something else. By the way, if you've obviously already gotten the calendar, bought one, don't worry. Just, you can still apply. We'll give you something else. Beth, you've won. Beth Gallivan, you have won an awesome calendar, and we need your address in Las Vegas, man. We need, and so email to marketing@wraithrain.com. Marketing@wraithrain.com. All right. Woo! Yay! Beth, Lily, awesome. Oh, this is great. Keep coming. Let's just do some more. Oh, cool. Nicolo Gomez, you have won the giveaway. Please email your address to marketing@wraithrain.com. Marketing@wraithrain.com. This is fantastic. Was that 4? Let's just do one more. Oh my goodness. And look here, Cersei, you won the giveaway for a calendar. If you don't already have one, do marketing@wraithrain.com, or we will send you something else. That will be just great. That will be just great. Fantastic. So glad. All right, that's fantastic. Okay, hold on a second. I want to check. I'll check one thing. Okay. Oh, another one. Here we go. Purple. Yeah, Purple Bell 6600. You've won the giveaway. You've won the giveaway. Email marketing at wraithbrain.com. Marketing at wraithbrain.com. This is fantastic. Would love it that everyone could get a copy, to be honest with you, but we don't have that many. Congrats, guys. Congrats, 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 congrats. This is fantastic. So, Kat, how many calendars have we given away?
Well, okay, so I rolled about 5 because I had to re-roll. So far, 12 people have given me their addresses, and 11 of those are calendars.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Good night, Mina. It's perfect. Ren, don't worry. Let's do a few more. Let's do fifth. 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 Put fifth in the chat. We want to get rid of, we want to make sure these go out. Fifth.
I like how it always freezes.
I know, it always freezes before this all happens. I know. You're welcome, Purple Rebel. So glad. Yeah, put fifth in the chat. Fifth in the chat. We're going to miss you. I'm so glad you guys have stayed for like 2+ hours. So
Yeah, really.
I know, right? I suppose we should probably hold on a second. Here's the first one. So Mott the Tater Tot, you have won a calendar. So email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com. Sweet. With your address. Ooh. CC Anime Fan, you won the giveaway. Email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com with your address. So glad that you're so excited. Woo! Here we go. Skull Studio 05H. You won the giveaway. Email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com with your email, and we will get you a calendar. Let's just keep going here. I want to give something back, man. I mean, come on. This is all good. Congratulations at Raythe Aurelius. You won the giveaway. So email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com, and you with your address, and you will get a copy of the calendar. Happy New Year and plays. It's awesome. Just do this. How we go. Oh, awesome. Oniero 181, you won the giveaway. Your email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com with your email address. Fantastic. See if we can't get one more. Here we go. Ooh, Camp Girl. Oh, Camp Girl 8105 is a little bit different than Camp Girl. You won the giveaway. You get a calendar, email marketing at wraithbrain.com, marketing at wraithbrain.com with your address. Oh, we missed you, Military Panda, already. Missed you. All right. Fantastic. Bye, Panda. We're probably going to wrap this up because I know I've kept you guys like 2 hours. You do not have to live in the U.S. to giveaways. Matter of fact, several people who have already won are not in the U.S. They are one's in France and one's in Canada, and there's a bunch of others. So you could definitely do all of them. Everybody gets a chance.
It's about half and half so far.
Yeah, cool. All right. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, maybe. I know, but you're working hard, Lily. You're working hard. We appreciate that view. Good, Beth, that you sent the email. Make sure you do. Make sure you all send the email. Do one more, Kat.
Okay.
Odd question. I'm trying to figure out from my own Dragon Rank character how do amputees work? Do spirits also have the injury? I don't think so. I don't think that they would, but that's a fascinating question. Congratulations at Ellie Danielle. You won the giveaway. Email marketing@raytherain.com, marketing@raytherain.com. I do not think that the spirit would have the same issue. No. Okay, so the Elementus, my fanfic, Damon and Julian travel from Caden and Hilarious Earth, traveling to get home, and they find themselves in a pocket universe called the Elementus, where they meet my characters, Cal Farthing. Awesome. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to this. This was a fun 2 hours. Yes, this is the fun 2 hours. Oh, Trixon, I'm sorry. Not a problem. I love it that you stole the family room television. Nice. Okay. So I think we're going to wrap it up for today because I've, copped all of you guys plus Kat here, and my voice is giving out, as you probably can tell. For those of you who are members, thank you from the very bottoms of our hearts. We absolutely cannot do this without you. I hope that Ever Rain is me tickling you pink because this is all for you. For those of you who can join us at raytherain.com as members, just know that the membership is what allows all the podcasts and everything we do and all the great art and all the beautiful things. And that if you can, we'd love you to join us. And we're having that 50% off sale right now for membership where you use the code winter sale. And you basically just go here and you choose. Here we go. I'm going to give a link and I'm going to star that. And then you just use coupon code winter sale and you'll see it in the thing. So you can get it for $50, which is about $4. $4.16 a month. And that makes the magic happen. It's made the magic happen. You guys have really been incredible today with all the super chats. And if I missed anyone, I'm so sorry. Just know that, you can always email me your questions and I'm sure to respond and all this kind of stuff.
Now we know to do all of the super chats before doing a giveaway.
Yes. I don't say I've seen other streams where the super chats are separated out. It does not do that here, or I haven't figured it out.
Let's get Luke on this. Maybe he'll figure out like a better streaming software.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah,
because Restream was good at the time, but like everything else, it just got worse.
It just got worse, man. It's literally like cutting off all the comments, so I can't go back up. I'm like, what is going on here? Appreciate it again. This was so much fun. Do read Everrain if you're a member. Please respond. I can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments. I look forward to it every single day. Can't wait. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take care, and we will talk